Amelia had always known loss. After her mother passed away, the world seemed dimmer, and each day was a struggle to find purpose. Her father did what he could, providing quiet support, but there was a void that no one could fill. She clung to the small things that reminded her of her mother. A photo on the side table, a navy suit her mother had sewn, and most importantly, a well-worn ring with the inscription, "Where there's hope." It was more than just a piece of jewelry. It was a piece of her mother that she carried with her, a symbol of the strength and resilience her mother had instilled in her. Amelia's life had reached a critical point. She was in desperate need of a job, not just for stability, but to prove to herself that she could still build a future. When she received a call for an interview at a thriving construction company, she knew this was her chance. On the day of the interview, she dressed carefully in the navy suit, her mother's ring glinting softly on her finger, a silent promise that she wouldn't give up. The interview was at a construction site on the other side of town, and Amelia felt a mix of nerves and determination as she arrived. The waiting room was filled with candidates who seemed more experienced, more confident. They spoke in jargon that made her feel out of place, and as she waited, doubt began to creep in. But she pushed it aside, focusing on the lessons her mother had taught her: to work hard, to stay strong, to keep hope alive. When her name was called, Amelia entered the small, cluttered office of Mr. Reynolds, the company's no-nonsense foreman. He was known for his efficiency and high standards, and as she shook his rough hand, she could feel the weight of the moment. The interview began, and despite her nerves, Amelia spoke honestly about her willingness to start from the bottom, her eagerness to learn, and her strong work ethic. She didn't try to bluff her way through the technical questions. Instead, she relied on her sincerity, hoping it would be enough. As the interview neared its end, Mr. Reynolds' gaze fell on the ring on her finger. His expression changed and he asked about the ring. Amelia hesitated but then explained that it had belonged to her mother, a cherished keepsake that she always wore. Mr. Reynolds asked to see it more closely, and as she handed it to him, something unexpected happened. From his own pocket, Mr. Reynolds pulled out a ring nearly identical to Amelia's. He turned the rings in his hands, and as the inscription on each ring lined up perfectly, "Where there's hope, there's always light," something profound settled between them. The air was thick with realization. This was no coincidence. Mr. Reynolds, his voice filled with emotion, revealed a story that neither of them could have anticipated. The rings had been made by his father, one for him and one for his sister, Amelia's mother. Circumstances had torn the family apart, with Mr. Reynolds and his sister separated in foster care, never to reconnect. He had spent years searching for her, but the trail had always gone cold. As they sat together in that small office, the interview forgotten, they shared memories, stories, and photographs. Amelia showed pictures of her mother, and Mr. Reynolds, with tears in his eyes, recognized the sister he had lost so long ago in Amelia's smile, in her spirit. The rings, once symbols of personal strength, had now become the key to a family reunion that neither of them had ever imagined. The day passed in a blur of emotions, and by the end, Amelia had gained more than just a job. She had found an uncle, a family, and a sense of belonging that she had never known was missing. The ring on her finger, once a simple memento, was now a connection to a larger, more vibrant world filled with new possibilities. In the weeks that followed, Amelia settled into her new role at the company, but more importantly, she embraced her new family. Mr. Reynolds introduced her to his wife and children, her cousins, who welcomed her with open arms. The emptiness that had once filled her life was now replaced with warmth, laughter, and a sense of purpose that went beyond her wildest dreams. Amelia realized that the ring had been more than just a link to her past. It was a beacon of hope that had led her to the family she never knew she had. And in the light of that discovery, she found the strength to move forward, knowing that she was never truly alone. The rings, once just symbols of hope, had become a testament to the enduring power of family, love, and the light that can be found even in the darkest of times.